Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining me on 21st Century Native Leaders. My name is Peter Deswood III. I hope you enjoy this podcast episode. Please comment and share this so other people can hear the experiences of my guest today. Thank you and enjoy. Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining me on 21st Century Native Leaders. My name is Peter Deswood III, and I am here with Kashon Harrison. Kashon runs cross country for University of Colorado-Boulder, or CU Boulder. For most people know it as CU Boulder. Thanks for being on the show, Kashon.
Hi.
So, Kashon, tell me a little bit about yourself, your tribal affiliation, and where you come from.
Okay. Well, I come from Farmington, New Mexico. Actually, from here, and part of Kirtland Central High School. That's where I went to school. I am full Navajo, and my clans are Toba Nishna, Tachini, Dashichi, Oze, no, Totiglini, Dashiche, Oze, Tachini, Dashinolek. And I come from many different places, from Arizona too.
Nice, awesome. So just so you know, my wife is a Tkabahan as well. So you're related to my wife.
Okay.
I'm also Tachini. So you said your dads are Tachini?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm your dad and you're my son. So if you look at it traditionally by clans. So talk with me about the highlights of your career. I know before we got on air, we talked about you going to Foot Locker and some of those national championships that you were part of. So talk with me a little bit about that.
Well, let me start first with when I started running. Well, because I know that was one of my main highlights, was training throughout the season in my mid-school, going to the track season. I ran 4:36, and that was pretty much a big thing, because I was probably one of the most athletes in 8th grade to run that specific time. And going on to over the years to run into nationals, my junior and senior year, Foot Locker's been a really grateful place to be at. I mean, because there's a lot of people who you can look up to, have contacts with, and as you know, you're keeping contact with people, so you're spreading connecting with other people in a way to talk with them, and if you need help, they'll help you out. And yeah, just building that friendship.
That's awesome. So a lot of networking, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool. So talk with me about, how did you get to run on the national level at Foot Locker? Is there a process you go through to get to that stage, to get to, to be in a national championship for high school?
Well, it takes a lot of work. I mean, starting with my coach, Lenny Essen, we usually start to go to Nike, Southwest Regionals, just to run it, and I'll be running a championship race. And during that race, I would see how my potential is in that race, and the results I have, I know I'm good at hills, and going into the regionals for Foot Locker West and running there, and there's a lot of hills and a lot of strategies you have to play out. And I knew that I'm kind of a strategist guy,
mm-hmm.
And then I know how things play out and take off from there, and it's how I really got my trip to nationals.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So when you get to that level, do you have to raise money for yourself, or did you get sponsors?
You can't get really sponsored by anybody. Okay. It's basically a rule.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we have to raise money by that just to go to Foot Locker West regionals, but nationals, they pay for your flight, everything, and they provide you with food, a hotel, and that's how everyone just builds that relationship with each other,
mm-hmm.
and that's how I got to know other people.
Oh, that's cool. So did your parents have to go and do fried bread sales and stuff like that, or?
I would say so. I would usually try to help out, but I'm usually busy with school and my running, because I have to focus on that specific race.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. And just so everyone knows, I did record you running, for the Foot Locker Championship, and it got a lot of views.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another reason why I wanted to interview, because I think just on my site it got 20,000 views.
Okay.
So that was, some of the impetus for wanting to interview you. So talk with me a little bit. When did you first start running? How old were you? Were you 6th grade, 5th grade?
Well, I started running when I was really small. My dad was running himself, and he was always wanting me to go run, and I would just run little small races that my coach and Lenny held. And as of running that, I would be a little fast little kid just running across the street. And I kind of quit over my own 2 years. I just did other sports. I got into soccer. Well, actually, first was karate, then soccer, basketball, and football. And as the years came by, like I went to middle school and I started running from there. And little did I know, like I still had it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, like, at what point, I mean, you said you ran a 4:36 in 8th grade. Is that correct? So was that the point when you're like, well, I could really do pretty well in running the mile or in cross country?
Yeah, and I guess around that time, like I was a top athlete and like going on to high school level because like I was still in 8th grade and I ran state at it as an 8th grader.
Uh-huh.
And I did pretty good, but like I did a little okay. So placing in state was as an 8th grader was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
So they pulled you up to go run in the New Mexico State Championship. And do you remember what place you finished as an 8th grader?
I think like 8th.
8th?
I'm not too sure.
In the mile or the 2 mile?
I think it was a mile.
In the mile?
Yeah, maybe do 2 mile too.
2 mile as well?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think 4:36 is, I think, the basin record in middle school was like, what, 4:31 or 4:29, if I remember correctly.
I held it.
Oh, you held it? So you set it at 4:36 then?
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty good. That's amazing. A lot of people can't even run that in high school still, right?
Yeah, and takes a lot of work.
Right, right.
It's not, you can't be born into it. You have to be made by just like training as long as you can take that.
That's awesome. So you talked about Coach Essen. I do know him. My wife and I we went to school with him up at Fort Lewis. So talk with me. What do you think? You look at a lot of runners, right? Mm-hmm. You look across Indian country, Navajo Nation, and there's always a lot of native runners. Like what do you think it is about natives that makes them good runners?
I guess it's just the spirit in them. I mean, like, what I've heard stories like before when people came over to the country, we had this land. Mm-hmm. We used to just run and everything like that, and I thought about that a little bit, and I just know that people who are running right now are just like wanting to get in shape and wanting to feel that spirit inside them to like go fast or just to go off a run.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what about, talk to me about Kirtland Central. I know they've competed pretty well in the last 4 or 5 years, won some state championships in cross country. I think they were in the top this year, if I recall. But like, what is it? What do you think it is about Kirtland Central that, they're doing really well as a program?
Well, I think the other thing too about Kirtland Central, because I know we never really won state or anything like that. We just been like placing like top 3 over like my years of high school. Mm-hmm. And I've known that like it takes a lot of work and it's just that team development. Like you have to like focus, have that mentality, and I just think like you can't mess around or anything like that. If you really want it, you just have to be there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So talk with me. I know you went to the Foot Locker Championships. Talk with me about the recruiting process, because I think I remember reading at one point you almost went to Oklahoma, and then you ended up going to CU Boulder. Talk with me about the recruiting process as far as whenever you're being recruited for cross country.
Okay. Well, I guess like since like I ran the Foot Locker Nationals, I started to get like not like emails and like mail like from like the school about all these colleges who were really wanting me to go run for them. But I was still a junior, so I can't speak with them on the phone yet. And going into my senior year, I started to get in contact with like schools like CU Boulder, Syracuse, Oklahoma State, I think Adams State, UCLA, Portland State. Then I got in contact with Washington, University of Oregon, many more. I think they got in contact with me because like I ran my second Foot Locker Nationals, and I knew that one of the CU assistant coach he's actually from Boulder, went to come visit me to watch me race at Shiprock. Yeah, and it was pretty good. Like I was just like, hey, there's a guy with the cowboy hat walking up towards me, and it's like, oh, hey, yeah, and it started off from there. And I guess he's pretty much like a really good guy, and he knows pretty much about like natives, and I think he's part native too. Mm-hmm. And he went to go visit around Shiprock and just like check out it, and yeah, he just took off from there. He went back home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's how I got contact. And when I took my visits to CU Boulder and Syracuse, Oklahoma State, Portland, and then I just took only 4 visits. The first visit was CU Boulder, and I was really happy because of the clouds and the mountain, and it was raining. And I was just like, yes, this is my place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like amazed by how things are in the team too, the team aspect. And I felt like I was already part of that team, and I wanted to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And going into other visits, I felt kind of the same way, but a little bit more different because I was too much like attached to CU for some reason, and I guess I chose CU. And now like going into the like to run for them, running for the team, and seeing them every day, felt pretty grateful.
So you just felt at home with CU Boulder then?
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool place. I know. I think that's the thing that's nice. It kind of reminds me of a larger version of Durango.
Yeah.
Right.
And plus, it's like actually it's like that. But I know I've always wanted to live around the mountain area, and like since I grew up in Collegiately, which we're from, I always wanted to like stay at a city where it's mountain. And like I guess it could just come true.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you said you're from Luckachugai. So did you ever run in the Chushka Mountains there while you were a kid?
Yeah, I still train around there. Like, where Cove, Arizona. I still run up, like, the hills and, like, where, like, the uranium mines were.
Uh-huh.
And I know they, like, just recently graded a road and they fixed it up. Then before I started running over there, like, it always had this, like, little stench smell, but I still went through it. Like, there were some parts that was good and some parts that was bad. And, like, as of, like, little did I know, like, it was, like, the uranium mine. Like, that's where my grandfather worked. Or my grandparents, my grandpa worked. Yeah. And my dad was, like, a little kid, and he's, like, I think he got sick from it, and he passed on.
Okay.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean, like, so he worked there, and I started, and I started running around the mountain area.
Yeah.
And I usually camped there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's, like, really nice.
Did your grandparents have sheep up in the mountains over there?
Yes, actually, they have a place, like a little small land. And
really?
I guess we were trying to build some stuff up the mountain, and you can see it from the bottom. And like as long as you have binoculars and stuff, you can see it just right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a question. You said your dad or your mom's from Luckachugai side?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
What's the family? What's the family? Is the Harrisons?
Or the house, I say.
The house?
Yeah.
Okay, on the Luckachugai side. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Wow, I'll have to do some research on that. That's cool. But the thing is, we're the same clan, too. Then there's like a pretty close connection there. That's awesome. So then whenever you take a look at, going to CU Boulder, right, at what point did you decide, was there a signing day at Kirtland for you that you're going to go and commit to run for CU Boulder?
So when I committed to CU Boulder, before that I got a contact from the Oklahoma State coach calling me and like checking what's up, and he wanted to know when I'm signing, and I told him like I don't know, I'm not too sure. And then I guess I just had a feeling like like my heart was with CU. And then like because I was leaving Tillage Albuquerque that day to go to my
state championship,
I think it was a race. And then I got a call from the assistant coach who was recruiting me. And I told him, I was like, you know what? Like, because he gave me his full scholarship. And I told him, I was like, I want to come here. I want to go here. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, just keep it a secret. And then like, he was like, can I tell the guys? Go ahead. And then I just let my mom know. And then, yeah, things started to go from there. And I signed around, I think it was February, March.
I
think it was April.
So just like 7 or 8 months ago then, huh?
Yeah.
Dang, yeah. Wow, that's so cool. So then you do pretty well in state, and like, are you going to run track for CU Boulder as well?
Yeah, it goes from cross country, indoor track, outdoor track. And you just do whatever you want. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to happen this year. We will see what my coach will say. Yeah.
But you will do all three seasons? Okay. All right. That's awesome. And I think that's pretty typical, right? You go, if you go for cross country, you also compete for the school for those I guess for all 3 sports. That is so cool. So then talk with me, like, if a kid wanted to go and run in college, what should they do?
I guess like get in contact with the coach and see what the standards are. And if you like met the standards, you can either be like, I think he'll either recruit you or something like it, like have someone recruit you, or you have to be like well noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing too is just like, because I know like there's a lot of walk-ons, and
Yeah.
there's like people who don't really go on,
Uh-huh.
and I know like it's kind of hard for them to like get the standard time.
Yeah.
And for what reason now, like for me, like running the nationals and competing at like the top like with the top competitions around the country, I guess that really helped me build up my speed and got me more noticeable between other colleges. And
Mm-hmm.
I think like many people should like either do that. Like you can't just like stay in state.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you want to expand, you have to go out of the box.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's so amazing. I think that's one thing that is so cool too. You know, you asked me why did I want to interview you. One of them is because like I'm thinking back, like I think you're probably like one of the highest recruited athletes in the Four Corners, right? Mm-hmm. To run on a national level and compete. Like I think what was your place when you ran for the Foot Locker your senior year?
My senior year I ran 11th.
You got 11th place. But that's amazing though, 11th place out of all high school kids in the United States. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's one of the things that is, I guess, piqued my interest about interviewing you, is that you know you were competing on that high of a level. Mm. It's absolutely amazing. So talk with me about the typical day of being a college runner. Like, talk with me about your training.
Oh, well, training's been really secretive. I mean, like, we don't like really tell anyone about what we do. But I just know that like we just do our runs, get our runs in, and we just go to school or go home or just study. But like for the mileage I've been running like 70
miles per week
since like high school. My senior year. Yeah.
So is there a drastic difference between running in high school and in college?
Yes, but I feel lucky because like with the workouts I've been doing from my last year, which is my track season, I feel grateful for my coach who has been helping me like train like what's going to be expected at CU Boulder, and now I've got used to the training at CU Boulder, and like where I'm at right now, because being that top athlete and now knowing that like people would take notice and helping out the team.
Yeah. So what number runner are you for CU Boulder?
I would say second/third.
Second or third?
Yeah.
But you're running against probably men, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like probably 20, 21-year-olds.
Yeah, and I'm still like a little kid.
Yeah, I mean, like it's so cool though. Like you think about it, but like you, that's the level you'll get to. It takes people like, you know, they say as you get older, you mature as a runner, right?
Yeah, it's very rare for a freshman to be at the top.
So some of the kids you ran against at Foot Locker, whenever you ran for the NCAA championships, did you see them there as well? Or
yes, I did. But I guess like I was I was the top freshman in the country.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, what place did you finish in the nationals?
I did bad at nationals.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but before that, I was a top freshman in the country, and then while doing that, I was trying to maintain it. But then, you know, just like somehow I just died out in nationals, and it still did good. We got third.
Okay, you guys got third as a team. Mm-hmm. Who won first?
First?
Yeah.
He was actually second overall.
Oh, second overall?
Yeah, like second runner.
Oh, CU's number one runner took second overall.
Yeah.
Oh wow, dang!
His name is Joe Fade-Flecker. He's from Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh dang! Wow. So a lot of those kids that you run with, those athletes you run, probably not kids, but a lot of those athletes you run with, were they usually like the top in the state in their respective states?
Mm-hmm. They're either a miler, and I seen them like usually see them on TV and everything like that, and like Foot Locker, which is one of the second runner. Like he's like the second senior to graduate or about to graduate. His name is John Dressel, and he told me that I reminded him of himself when he was in his freshman year. And I was just happy because like I knew like I was living up to his potential. Yeah. And then like helping out them as a team. Right. Being that top true freshman.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So talk with me a little bit about how do you balance academics and athletics? I mean, 70 miles a week, that's a lot. Yeah. Like how do you balance that?
Well, I think the other thing too is like we have our classes in the morning, and like 2 to 6 we go to practice, and from like 6 to whatever time you just do homework. And like between the classes, you either have different schedules, and with that, there's different schedules on those different days. You can do your homework. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
nice.
you just like do whatever you want. Just try to get everything over with for the weekend, so you can relax and just do whatever you want.
That's cool. So have you settled into a routine up in Boulder?
Yeah. I actually came over summer and got away from home for a little bit, and I got used to it. Yeah.
But it's a pretty cool town, though, right?
Yeah.
That's the part that's awesome. I love going to Boulder. So talk with me. How do you 70 miles per week? I'm sure it's a pretty good pace that you're running at, but how do you avoid overtraining?
I guess it's just like, if you're like doing overtraining, like you either like feel like a tweak in your leg, if you're like tired all the time, I think you just need to dial it down. Yeah.
That's cool. So then you have to know your own body then. Okay. So
like if you're feeling tired or feeling like, because like if you get injured, it's gonna ruin your whole season. Because like if you don't want to like overtrain, like you just keep going. You got to be careful about yourself.
Dang, that's awesome. So talk with me about the travel component. Like I know you're all over. Pac-12 is a pretty big conference, all the way from Colorado to Arizona, all the way up to Oregon, all the way to California. I'm sure you guys traveled out of conference too, right?
Yeah.
So talk to me about that.
Well, traveling's been really good. I mean, like you get your everything paid for, you get food paid for, and like you get like a lot of study time. So you don't go to school and just like go to classes and you just like study after practice. You have a specific time to do our study, and if you have like homework and stuff, you can just do that. And then it's been pretty good. I mean, like traveling like to other places, you just experience the place itself. Yeah. And for that, like you just like wow, and even though like seeing like the fall vibes of everyone like just like either exploring, having like a good coffee and tea. I just like it over there. Like over the places where I traveled. So do you go and look for a nice coffee shop to hang out in and do? Yeah, really? Okay. Yeah, it's fun. And I usually either stay home or stay at the hotel, watch TV, and just chillax. What's your favorite coffee drink? Espresso, latte? I would say a latte. Latte? Yeah. Or since it's fall, I would say a pumpkin spice latte. Or pumpkin cream cold brew. Oh, nice. Oh, y'all like cold brew too? Yeah. Actually, I made a cold brew before I came over. Oh, really? It's actually, I think it's in my truck. That's cool. So, let's say you're out and about. You're exploring a place. Like, what place have you found? You're just like, dude, this is a pretty cool place to chill. I would say Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Like, I think that was my highlight. South Bend, Indiana. Like, we just like hung out, went to this coffee place, and just. Like I took a picture of this gorilla with my friends, just like holding it, it's like just standing on top of it and just like give it a fist bump. Yeah, because like the gorilla's arm just like stiff up and he's like ah. That's awesome. So I noticed Jerry and them from Southwest Runners, they traveled out there. I think to watch you run. They actually did. I was really glad that they did. Yeah, and I was tired after the race. My leg was hurting. I was just like, I'm too tired. And then cause after the race, I had to get ready, go to the wards, and after that, take off back home. And so you jump right on a flight and come back? Yeah. And came to Durango, actually, at 8 at night on Saturday. Oh, okay. And my uncle picked me up, and I told him not to tell anyone, because no one knew I was coming home. Wow. Surprised them. Now we're at Thanksgiving, and everyone was pretty happy. That's good. When do you have to report back to Boulder? I'm leaving Sunday. Sunday? Actually, yeah. You flying back up there? Or? No, I'm driving. You're driving? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Nice. That's so cool. It's so interesting, how that component, the travel component. So I have a quick question, another question. So do you collect your frequent flyer miles? Will they allow you to? I guess if you want to. I mean, wouldn't you have to have an account for that? You do. You should set one up. Yeah, I should. You should. Whatever airline. I should set one up for every airline. That way, you can fly home. You just, you get, I think, 25,000 miles. But it sounds like you're traveling quite a bit. Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
Yeah, but I mean, bonus points.
Mm-hmm.
And you all stay in hotels too, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you should look into it. Like maybe if you stay at a Hilton, they're called Hilton Honors. And they're free to sign up, but then you just accumulate points. I don't know if the NCAA was okay with that, but
yeah. We'll have to see about that.
Yeah, I would check into it.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk with me about eating healthy. Was there a drastic difference from when you were in high school to? I'm sure the CU Boulder, because I know when I went to play football, we had a dietitian that would work with us and try to clean up our diet, high protein,
mm-hmm.
lean carbs, things like that. Talk with me about changes in your diet from high school to college.
It was over the summer. I went over to Boulder and I got checked up, and they checked my body composition. And I got since I got the results, I was a 50. My body comp was 50, which was over the barrier, and I was considered chubby. And yeah, I didn't realize that because there's a limit, there's a boundary, so you have to be between a 30 and a 45. And since I'm at a 50, I had to train my way down. But I knew I was already with the guys and training from where I'm at. Pretty possible you can do that as running from where I'm at, and going to the NCAA's from the summer. I dropped down from 50 to a 36.
Oh, okay.
Lost a lot of weight and started eating more healthy instead of more of fast food and stuff. And now I'm on my break and I get to eat whenever I want.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm still being careful too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Have you been running since you've been back?
No. I was told to take a break.
Take a break. I bet that was nice, huh?
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. So talk to me about the mental aspect. How important is the mental? What do you think? What's your process when you, right before a race? Do you just visualize what's going to happen? Talk to me about that.
I usually visualize what happens, but then I just think of a song. I play a song in my head just to keep me calm because everyone's always nervous and I'm a different type of person. You see people just getting pumped up by a lot of music, and I'm just there just chilling, listening to a relaxing song. Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome. So, whenever you're in the race, then what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what are you thinking? Are you just constantly checking your body, how you feel, your breathing, things like that?
I would say that. Yeah, that's basically the whole part of the race, and also you just have to think about what's in front of you, and if you're ready to go, you can go. If you're not, just ease into it. Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome. That's cool. So you have to be in tune with your body and know what's going on with it, huh?
Yeah.
So what prepared you the most to run at the college level?
As I said, in my senior track season, I started doing different workouts than other people, and I was very fortunate enough to have that type because if it weren't I would be struggling to run a specific time I usually ran this year because 23 running under 24 is hard for a freshman to do that, and for me to do that, it takes a lot of determination and focus, and by that with high mileage and I've been doing that since high school, and where I got me. I mean, you just have to stay focused.
Yeah. So hang on, you run below a 24. Is that in a 10K?
24?
Yeah,
8K.
8K?
Yeah.
8K, so that's what's...
it's 5 miles.
5 miles?
Yeah.
So it's about what? About probably a 430, 445 mile per minute?
Yeah.
Or mile per... Minutes per mile?
Yeah.
Okay, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's... And you said for a freshman, that's pretty phenomenal, huh?
Yeah.
So the person that won the national championship, what did they run their course in? Probably low 23s or high 20s?
No, because we switched up to 10K nationals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the winning time was 30 something. Because it was really heavy rain, muddy.
Was it really? Mm-hmm. But everyone's in those same circumstances too, though. So it's not there's not an advantage. That's awesome. So, talk with me about being seen as a Native role model. When I see people share stuff on Facebook about your running and whenever you were accepted and whenever you committed to Boulder, or whenever you went to Foot Locker, the championship, people were just sharing it and it was just being shared and shared and shared. You have this amazing reach. Talk to me about that.
Well, I think it feels great to be a role model towards other people, and I know that little kids look up to me, such as my little brother, and people around the Navajo reservation really look up to people who are trying to like show their like native selves and out in the outer world, because like we don't really get a lot of
A lot of good
recognized,
press.
like we don't get
recognition.
like, recognition,
Uh-huh.
and like for me, like trying to do that, I'm trying to help people to be successful
Uh-huh.
in what they're doing and what they want to be. It's not like like an athlete, but it's a student athlete,
Uh-huh.
and you can either be an athlete or a student. And for a student, you work hard and you go to a school you dreamed of and get the degree you want to. And for me, like I'm doing that as a student athlete, and for that, I want to get the degree I want to while running for CU Boulder and hopefully follow my goals in life.
Yeah.
And I hope that like for everyone who's looking up to me to do the same to theirs, because
Mhm.
I know like it takes a lot of time and effort to put the work in.
Right. That's so true. I like the way you stated that. So, I can't remember. Did you get recognized by the Navajo Nation Council?
Yes, actually.
That was pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it's cool. I was like looking for the place where they were having a meeting. And I was like suited up, and I was like, okay, I'm in the desert with the dress shoes, a dress shirt, a tie. And I was like, where's everyone?
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, how important is your Navajo culture? You talked about sharing, to the outside world. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So like I feel really grateful for being like a Native American myself, because I get to explain it to my teammates, and they're really interested in what I have to say to them, and for that, like that's how I got more. They're like more of a family type now,
Okay.
because like I'm more connected.
Uh-huh.
And right now, like I'm really thinking of coming back home and like learning my language and like helping the people out. For the like degree I want to go into, like I always wanted to start my own business and just like give them opportunities to like give like many Native American opportunities to have more jobs, because like people rely on the mines and it's probably gonna like shut down pretty soon,
Right.
over the years,
Right.
and now like what's gonna happen to the people now?
That's true.
That's the only job they have on the Navajo reservation.
That's true. I like that. So, hang on. Are you a business major?
No, I'm at communications.
Communications
with minor in business.
with a minor in business.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's cool. My undergrad is in accounting.
Oh,
So I talk with people a lot about businesses and stuff like that.
okay.
That's cool. Is there anything else you would like to share?
I guess it's just like letting the people know like that if you ever need help, don't be afraid to ask, because I've been in a situation over the summer where I needed help, and I got like many like help, like people who were willing to help me, and I wasn't afraid to like speak out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you just gotta put yourself outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. So what's coming up? Like will people be able to see you on the Pac-12 network for indoor season? Like, how can people follow you?
I guess it's just like they'll say it, like you look up the meet where we're running at, and you can look it up on our website, which is like to see your athletics and then see our schedule, and they'll see what like we're running at. Then you look up that place we're running at, and where we're running at, it's either televised by some specific website.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know you're probably pretty busy, but like whenever you go run, do people come up and say, "Hey," like they'll come up to meet you if you're running, or?
Sometimes I run in some places that where no people really go run, and I've seen some people like I run at Pedro Vista sometimes, or I do a speed workout at Pedro Vista. That was over summer, but I met one person. He was like, "Hey," I was like, "Boy," and we started talking a lot and about how I was about to go back up to Boulder again. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
Very nice to see people who like to say hey, and I really like the quality of people saying hey, and just like getting that connectivity.
Yeah.
And like people getting to know each other, be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go to Boulder, and like everything's really different from here, you'll get a lot of like opportunities, like such as jobs. And like people are nice over there. Yeah, I mean like you just like have fun.
Yeah. So do you ever run that trail that goes up by the river? You know, the little stream.
We always do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's that. My wife and I ran that when we go up there. We run that trail.
Mm-hmm. And I remember they had that indigenous powwow somewhere in Boulder, which is like where you guys were running up.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was just like running, and I never really like seen any other people like such as natives.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was running towards, and I passed these guys who were setting up tents, and I was like, these guys look native. And then later on that day, I went over there, and I was like, oh, it's a powwow. And I took some of my freshman group to see what my culture was like, and they really liked it.
That's cool. That's awesome that you get to share that. So how can people contact you?
Oh, I guess just probably just
social media. Okay. Are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Instagram, or I know you're on Twitter because I reached out to you. Are you Facebooker or no?
Yeah, I'm Facebook.
You Facebook as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Look out for Kashon Harrison in the Pac-12. He runs for CU Boulder. He'll probably be running in Phoenix, so I know there's a lot of natives in Phoenix, so maybe you can watch Kashon run indoor season or track, or maybe next fall, maybe he'll run near you for cross country. But other than that, Kashon, we are all set. I appreciate you taking time over your Thanksgiving break away from your family. I know you've probably been traveling a lot, but to interview with me and to share your story so that people can hear about you and hear what you've been through and how you got to where you are today. So I want to say and thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad to have the opportunity to speak with you and to people out there.
Absolutely.
Hello, listeners. I hope you enjoyed this episode, listening to the challenges and the tribulations of the guests that I had today. Please follow me on 21st Century Native Leaders. Go to my page, give my page a like for future episodes, and also for quotes from books that I read, articles that I read, and the pictures are from Indian country, in particular the Navajo Nation. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully you come back and hear another future episode. Have a good day.